Hi, everyone, and welcome to this week's module, where we're going to be exploring our final domain of the preschool age. It's a very important aspect of early childhood development. It is social and emotional growth. Between the ages of 3 and 5, children go through some incredible changes in how they understand and manage their emotions, as well as how they interact with the people around them. And it's during this time that they begin to form friendships, begin to develop empathy for others, and to start learning how to regulate their own feelings. And all of those are key skills that they're going to need to carry with them throughout life. So it's a really crucial time, and it's just as important a domain as the other two that we've done already, physical and cognitive, because without a healthy social emotional life, it makes the other two really difficult. It makes the cognitive difficult because it's harder for them to focus on cognitive things, and it can hinder their physical development as well. So they really all three depend on one another. So in this module, we're going to dive into how preschoolers build that emotional awareness and social skills, and what role we as educators play in that, in fostering a supportive environment in order for them to be able to do so and get that social emotional development. So we're going to cover important topics like social emotional emotional self-regulation, how important play is to this, and how to encourage positive peer interactions. So hopefully by the end of this week, you're going to have a deeper understanding of how we can nurture preschoolers' social and emotional growth, and hopefully you will be equipped with some strategies to support their ability to express themselves and to connect with others. Again, skills that they will need throughout life, and you're helping build that. So I hope you see this as important as it is. So I'm going to share my screen and take a look at this week. Okay, so here's a much shorter module overview than what I just gave you. The objectives of this module and what learning outcomes we're meeting in this week. You're going to read chapter 9. And you're going to watch these videos. This one is the lecture video that really goes through the high points of the chapter. And then some other videos. They're going to help with social emotional development, the 6 types of play, which is also addressed in the chapter. It might help you on your quiz. And the different parenting styles also addressed in the chapter. And then these videos are actually the ones that you have, these 5 that all look the same at the front, but you can tell by the length of them that they're not. You've actually got a worksheet, I guess is what I would call it. Obviously, you're doing it on the computer, where you answer questions over these. So, I recommend diving into all the videos. None of them are very long. I often watch videos on like 1.5 speed to go faster. Sometimes that is, it depends on how fast they go. Sometimes that works. Sometimes it's harder to soak in the information that way. But that's just my little tip if your brain can go that fast. Which I'm sure it can. All right, and then you've got a quiz. 15 points this week for the quiz over the chapter. And then here's that assignment I was talking about, that's questions over those videos. So you've got a template here you can download and answer within it. Gonna take a while. You get it though. There are questions over the videos. Use complete sentences where, unless it asks for just a fill in the blank or something, use complete sentences. And your discussion this week, all of you come from different levels of understanding development. So I expect there to be quite a bit of variation in your responses, from very beginning aha moments to the discovery of a cool new detail about something that was already familiar to you. I haven't pre-assessed your knowledge, and y'all come from all different places. Some of you are just starting out in childcare. Some of you have been in it for a couple years. Some of you have been in it for 20 to 30. So we're all over the place and have lots of different levels of experience and knowledge, and that's okay. We're all here to learn. But I haven't pre-assessed what each of you know, so you're going to be in the honor system here with this discussion. And I'm going to trust that you put something that really does demonstrate some kind of new learning for you. So after reading the chapter and viewing all the resources, all the videos and things, your task is to provide examples of how you will add or modify a strategy you use when interacting with children. Okay, so adding some strategy you've learned about or modifying something that you already do. For example, if you learned that 3-year-olds take longer to process information than older children, you will now wait longer after asking them a question to allow time for the thought process to complete. Okay, so something that simple. Alternatively, the example you share could represent a change in your beliefs or your understanding about children's behavior. You could share something like, if prior to reading, not just this chapter, actually, this discussion post could go back several chapters, 6 chapters, because it could be about infant and toddler development of any kind, or preschool development of any kind. So going back to where I was, if prior to your reading, you thought the best way to get a newborn infant to sleep was to let them cry until they fell asleep on their own, but after reading, you now believe something else, explain what you think now and what changed your mind about it. So you're going to provide one example from each of the different age groups, infant, toddler, or preschool, but whatever of the domains you want. So total of 2 examples, not 2 per age group, 2 total. And you're going to label your post as follows. Example 1, which age group are you talking about? And then tell what strategy you're going to change or a description of your belief that changed. And then tell specifically why you would change your strategy or what influenced your belief. So basically the evidence from your textbook or from a video that you watched or from some other reading that we did. And then you're going to do the same thing. So the evidence from the textbook is built right into this one. Don't forget to refer specifically to it. I changed my mind on this because and then call the textbook by name, understanding the whole child, that's it. On page blah, 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 the author writes this, or I learned from the developmental chart from the CDC that this. So and then have in-text citations in your writing, and then at the end include a full citation to get those full points for that. So you'll have example 1, example 2, and then an artifact with a brief explanation of how it relates to this week's discussion. If you just post a picture, it needs to be something good and meaningful, like a picture of something you've created and used in your classroom, or a picture of something meaningful, not just you searched Google Images for kids at circle time. Okay, that's not the kind of thing we're looking for. It really needs to be something that your classmates could use. Okay, if you're just going to post a picture. You've also got the option of searching videos on the topics that you like, research articles, blog posts, and our websites. But we're really looking for more than just a picture you downloaded, unless there's a really good explanation for it. Okay. So that is your discussion post, and it doesn't open until Thursday, and then you've got until the following Wednesday to do it. Then you should have already gotten several observations in the last week, and now be getting more.